Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is January the 19th, 2021. Strong hand, long-term thinking. Be a unique beast. We'll talk about one of those today. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin in motion. Don't FOMO on alts. 5-digit realm. I'm offended by selling. Compete, don't complain. Okay, I know you guys got that conviction. Hello, my elite friends. You have questions, I have answers. Type in BitcoinMeister, do a super chat, get my attention somehow. I will answer your questions. You've been asking a lot of great questions lately. And 28 Bitcoin make you a millionaire. All right, very good. Check out This Week in Bitcoin. We had some great guests. This Week in Bitcoin this week is going to be at noon on Friday. My brother was on the show on Saturday. And make sure Sunday show, I will tweet this out. I will link it in the chat right in a few minutes, but it's linked to below. It was on the backup channel. I talked about Tether and current events. I'm going to talk a little bit about Tether tonight, but a lot of you guys missed the backup channel. Subscribe to it. That show was only on the backup channel. It's linked to below, Sunday's show. Now let's talk about some altcoin noise real quick. That was the Bitcoin Noise show on Sunday, but let's talk about some noise that could have been mentioned there. This dude, Jed McCaleb, who used to be like the founder of Ripple, or is one of the co-founders of Ripple. He's at Stellar now. You know, these centralized altcoins, whatever. On January 18th, he sold 28.6 million Ripple worth $8.78 million. Now, and in the past, he had stopped selling for a while, but now he started selling again. And people assumed he stopped selling because of the SEC. Here's the point. I don't care why he stopped, but he's selling. He's selling. And there are all these people, and he's a big whale, all right? Now, does he not like Ripple now? I don't care. He is selling, though. And so if you think you're smart by buying when this dude has started to sell again, when guys who were founders of the thing are selling lots for millions of dollars, he is getting rich, okay? I don't know what he's turning those dollars into. Maybe he values his wealth in dollars. I don't know. But he's getting rich by dumping. And there are these people out there like, oh, yeah, it's fine. It doesn't matter what the SEC is doing. He doesn't have a strong hand. A big whale like that, what's that tell you? If you're buying and that dude is dumping, one of the founders, okay, and dumping considerable amounts there, millions of dollars, and he had stopped for a little while, but now he started again. So is this going to be the last dump? No, probably not. I don't know how anyone in their right mind can be involved with a coin that's a coin of a company, and one of the company's founders continues to dump and makes himself really wealthy, while all these institutional brainwashed dudes are like, no, don't worry, we'll win the case. Even if you win the case, look at this. What was the trend before the case? He was dumping them, and of course, all the so-called funds out there all dumped it because they don't want to mess with the SEC. Coinbase wants to go public; they don't sell it anymore. It's one of the weirdest stories that people. Well, this is the world we live in today. People live in this fantasy world where they just believe in these narratives that totally make completely no sense at all, and they just go down with the ship, and they end up doing. When you believe in these things that are just totally reckless and insane, you end up in really bad situation, as we saw in real life in the Capitol recently. Anyway. Just logic and reason, people. He's dumping. It's centralized. Avoid. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin. Now, my TikTok is listed, linked to below. I had a funny one today. And, all right, we talked about the backup chat. And by the way, we'll get in a second. The president is expected to pardon more than 100 people in his final hours in office. Now, again, it is the end of the president's presidency. If you still believe that he's going to be president, you're probably buying Ripple also. Pound that like button for intertwining all that. Now, yeah. So there's gonna be like 100 people he pardons. Ross Ulbricht is obviously on a lot of people's minds in this space. I've linked to an article from the Washington Examiner that says that the president is interested in pardoning him, but his advisors, some of his legal advisors, are saying no. Dude, I mean, for such a strong man, he can't make up his own darn mind. It's up 100% up to the president. It's 100% up to the president. But he's gonna have an excuse about the advisors or something like that. Come on. You know the darn story. Either you do it or you don't. So I mean, it's a shame to be in Ross's shoes right now, because if he doesn't get pardoned, it's not like the next guy's going to do it. All right. So he'll be stuck in a cage for a really long time if this doesn't come through. And to have a dude like this deciding your fate, who needs his completely whack advisors to hold him back, it's sad. But you can link to that. Maybe by the time you watch this show, it will. You know, by the time the inauguration comes around tomorrow afternoon, I guess it's tomorrow afternoon, this story will be an old story, so we'll know. So good luck to Ross and anyone else that's in the slammer that the questionable circumstances around being in the slammer. That's really a bad position, and having to depend on someone who really cannot really take a firm stand and to the last day of his office wants to fit in, and cares so much about what other people think of him. All right, now let's go back to Ethereum. Ethereum is in the and so some of his allies of the president will be pardoned. Okay, so if you're good friends with him, I mean, that's expected. I mean, that's what the pardon process. I mean, if you're friends with the president, you're going to get so Ross is not clearly friends with the president. We'll see what happens. So Ethereum hit an all-time high. Well, maybe it hit an all-time high. CoinGecko says it's 1448, but it got up to 1440. And so this is just like when Bitcoin hit its all-time high at first. You weren't really sure. You're not going to really know until it's like 1450. Okay, so that's when all you Ethereum heads should go wildly crazy. But it's the articles are out there. I linked to the CoinGecko thing because I love that site because it shows how long it's been since these coins got to their all-time high and how far off their all-time high it is. It is linked to below. CoinGecko really beats CoinMarketCap on that, obviously. But I think it's positive that Ethereum hit a new all-time high. It brings interest to the space to have the number 2 cryptocurrency. It shows the pattern that cryptocurrency is the 2020s. It's a golden age. So it'll wake some people up some more. I don't care. I don't care if Ethereum rises faster than Bitcoin, which it probably will for a period of time. It's just like 2017. We went through this in 2017. So get ready for flipping top talk, just like we had in 2017. And yes, it will surge to 4% of a Bitcoin. It's close to that already. And 6%. I've told you for a while it'll probably surge to 6% of a Bitcoin. We saw it during its 2018. What was it? 12% of a Bitcoin or something? I don't know if it's going to get that high. I really don't care. But so good. Ethereum, great. Ethereum is the next Ethereum. Bitcoin is the next Bitcoin, and it's the rock. It's the top. You all know it, baby. But I'm not fearful of the Bitcoin Inquisition. So I can mention altcoins. It's not a sin to say an altcoin's name here. It's definitely in the news, and it's positive for Bitcoin. Now, we have old news from India that I just noticed, and I'm going to mention in a second. But I see we have questions and retweet, by the way. And here's Sunday's show for you dudes. I just put it in the link. How old is the BitcoinMeister? I don't say. But if you actually stalk me properly, it really is pretty easy to find out. But I would say so few people decide to find out. Andy Hoffman found out on his own. Tor, who has passed away, he found out on his own. And I think a couple people, but most other people are just they don't understand how to use Google. It's so simple. But I like that people don't know. I don't say. It's like I don't give that. I don't give the name. I don't say how many siblings I have. I don't give their names. I mean, it was the other day. I just revealed a brother was on. So I mean, if you want to know personal info, and you can try to figure out which one of us is older. All right, now, what other questions do we have here? We got Ritwik Nand Kumar says, I've recently gotten interested in mining and mine some altcoins for the heck of it. Do you think it's a good idea just to convert these to Bitcoin instead? Oh yeah, but I think mining is a totally silly thing to do for anything. But yeah, if you mined them, yeah, of course turn them into Bitcoin. Why would you hold them? I mean, that's why everybody mines altcoins, to turn it into Bitcoin, basically. But I'm not a big fan of mining of anything. I think there's a lot of scams involved. A lot of things can happen, and it usually costs the person more than they're bringing in. So it's right. Be careful. Definitely be careful. All right. What do we have here? What's going on? Next one is we talked about Ross. We talked about Ethereum. Oh, India news, of course. It came out last week. I just noticed it. My bad. But I always said India will be the next South Korea in terms of there being a lot of excitement one day there. In South Korea had an incredible amount of Bitcoin excitement during the peak in 2017, and I wish that upon India, because there's like a billion people there, and even if 1% of the people got into it, that would be great. Now here's the news. Ribbit Capital and Paradigm lead a $15 million Series A for Indian crypto exchange CoinSwitch Kuber. CoinSwitch Kuber mission is to bring simple crypto investing to India. That's great. Crypto, Bitcoin, whatever. All right. And the Block Crypto wrote about this. I linked to it below. India could be one of the largest global crypto markets, and CoinSwitch's team say it has potential to be a market leader in the years to come. CoinSwitch has a potential to be a market leader for years to come in India, and that's great. So India could be one of the largest global markets, and these guys, CoinSwitch, are getting in there early before it is, and they want to dominate it. Good, compete, don't complain, and I hope everybody in India starts buying it, and this company does very well. They're legitimate funders that clearly think they've got a great chance because they just threw $15 million at them. And watch DisruptMeister.com. Again, DisruptMeister.com. All my videos, no matter what channel they're on, and SportsMeister.com. All the podcasts. Sometimes there's podcasts that aren't in video form, etc. Now, and Sunday's show, again, I talked about Tether. People like to fuddle on Tether, that it's backed by nothing. I say that even if it was backed by nothing, it has use cases. People use it for all sorts of wacky things, all right? At trading, they believe it's $1. And so the people at Tether, they have printed something that is $1. They say it's $1. The United States says their thing's worth $1. You compete, don't complain. Let the market decide. And the market has decided that Tether is worth $1, no matter all the crazy FUD out there. But I do want to say this. This is reinforcement here, right here. This story is a nasty story, and it says thieves grab $451,000 in cash from Hong Kong crypto trader. So this lady, she had some Tether, and some dudes had some Hong Kong dollars, and clearly the dude, she had done trades like this with them before, probably with other people. I assume in Hong Kong, people want to get out of Hong Kong, so they trade their Tether in for they trade their Hong Kong cash in for Tether, and then maybe they go to wherever and trade their Tether in for US dollars, etc. It's a tool to get your money out of Hong Kong. It's a real thing. And I had mentioned China and Russia before on Sunday's show, and I enjoyed all the things I said about Tether on that show. My mind was rolling there. So please watch a Sunday show. It's not just a political show, the Noise show. It was cryptocurrency was involved too. Now, but going back to this situation, so this lady ends up in an office. She gives over the Tether to the dudes who I guess she thought were going to leave the country with it, and they give her the cash. And then some dudes from another room come in and they take the cash from her, and she ends up with nothing. Hong Kong police are searching for robbers who lured a female cryptocurrency trader into an office and robbed her of $3.5 million Hong Kong dollars, which is $451,000 in cash on Monday. The men had previously made Tether trades with the woman, possibly to win her trust. Police said it's not clear how much was stolen in total when accounting for the tokens also taken. Now, this is, if a lady was willing to do this, this happens all the time. Not the robbery part, but the trading part, that it's a dollar in their mind. They need to go to some other country. They need to quickly trade it, turn their cash into something that they can turn to cash in another country. So it has a use case, and there's another example, an unfortunate example, but there you go. It has value for those of you, so they can say, yeah, it's worth $1 because everybody believes the story. Everybody believes it, just like everybody believes. And if it fails, then everybody turns into Bitcoin. Okay, great. It's really does. The Bitcoin FUD is so old, and we're going to get into that in a second. Janet Yellen had a hearing today. She's going to be the Treasury Secretary. And of course, she is no fan of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And it's no shock what she said at all, that she's worried about Bitcoin and cryptocurrency being used for money laundering and the financing of terror activities. I mean, how many times? So no, she's not a fan of it, but were the current people fans of it? Is anybody in the financial bureaucracy that relies on a government check as their paycheck fans of Bitcoin, that relies on the dollar being loved and dominating and being able to be monitored? Does anyone in the financial bureaucracy who thinks they have jurisdiction over every single human being on earth like Bitcoin? No one does. So nothing is changing. Do not panic. We knew about Janet Yellen before. We knew about her predecessors. I mean, occasionally we'll get a fan, and the United States is still the best place to be in for cryptocurrency innovation. And I don't think she's going to overstep anything anytime soon. You can FUD about it if you want to. You can cry and be a no coiner and wait it out if you want, and just have fun staying poor. Exactly. So it's mostly noise that's coming from her mouth. It's no shock at all. Don't worry. I'm sure she'll have some other things to worry. How to inflate the dollar as fast as possible. That'll be her job. I don't know. Okay, now, and here's a tweet that really sums up everything by Alistair Milne. I guess 2021 is the year everyone regurgitates all the 2013 criticisms of Bitcoin, despite everyone knowing that it's all been debunked 100 times over. And David Bennett replied, "At least they recycle." Pound that like button. Yeah, it's true. It's recycled. It's regurgitated. It is noise. Guys, if any of this stuff scares you, Tether FUD, Janet Yellen, what else? It can go to zero. We're going to get to that. I forgot to mention that on yesterday's show. I said this going to zero story. I mean, you've got a really weak hand if this still freaks you out, because, you weren't around in 2013 and 2017 probably, but it's same exact stuff. So here is a story that is about Bitcoin going to zero. And I should have mentioned this yesterday, but I was going so fast I forgot it. It was in the title. I had to change the title. Now, 12 years in, and people still think that Bitcoin can go to zero, which is it's just insane. It's insane. UBS Wealth warns clients crypto prices can actually go to zero. Now, some cryptocurrencies, some freakazoid altcoins probably can. Most probably can. There's always a freak out there that trades it for. There's so many exchanges. There's always someone willing to gamble. Some degenerate gambler out there. But with Bitcoin slumping back to $35,000. That's what it says in the article. This is an article from MSN. With Bitcoin slumping back to 35, what a glorious era to live in when Bitcoin slumps back to $35,000. They're trying to rip on Bitcoin because it dropped to $35,000 a month ago. We'd all be going crazy about this. So yeah, the Bitcoin is MySpace FUD. It's back. Did it really ever go away? Well, it's silenced sometimes. These people can't think of something new. Think of something new, FUDsters. I don't know. But in an article, to believe a word of an article that says Bitcoin's slumping to 35,000. I love living in an era where Bitcoin slumps to 35,000. Okay, that means I'm doing really, really, really well. When I was telling people to buy it, at $200, $300, $400, $500, $600, $700, right? And all the people who didn't get fudded out, they laughed at that too, and they know darn well. If you were buying it at $700 or whatever, that it isn't going to zero. It's insane. It is insane that people still have that out there. All right, security freaking truth machine ain't going anywhere now. But you can do your MySpace, bud. This is where the big boys play. Now, Zach Vol says, and I like this, Bitcoin cleared more than $47 billion worth of transactions over the holiday weekend. And I want to know how much is cleared by traditional financial entities. And I mean really cleared. Like if I make a transaction with Wells Fargo or Bank of America or Citi on Friday night, does it really end up? It's not confirmed in my buddy's bank account on Saturday, no, or on Sunday, or on Monday because that was a holiday. Bitcoin is confirmed within minutes. It is still a mate. Now, the banks can change this if they wanted to. They can get rid of banking hours, okay, and they will. They're going to have to with numbers like that. If they refuse, that it's just going to help Bitcoin more. But I don't see how the banks can keep this old model going at all, where it takes days during holiday weekends for it to clear for your friend. And the other thing, of course, is even if the worst part is when it is instant clearing, when it gets to your friend's account in less than a second. If Janet Yellen says you're financing terror activities, then they can just claw it back immediately. And with Bitcoin, that can't happen. Pound it. Now, Michael Saylor, I didn't link to this. I got to update the links below. Bitcoin is the dominant digital monetary network. The next billion members will pay trillions to join. You might want to join first. Hey, that just rephrases what I've been saying for years here. It was a lot cheaper to get in before the herd. Certain members of the herd. It was a lot cheaper to get in before he got in when I was telling you guys to get in. But hey, he's in at least, and now he's just warning you not to be him of 2016. In 2016, he didn't think highly of it. He could have made his company like the richest company on earth had he done what he did back then. But it's a very good point. The next billion members will pay trillions to join. We are one day closer to $1 trillion market cap. And it's becoming less and less of a dream. I made those shows. They were called what were they called? Something about the $1 trillion market cap. They were summary shows. I forgot. They're linked to below. Okay, but it's not as insane anymore. Now that we're whatever it is right now, 36,000. Being in the 50,000s is not as extreme, and that's when Bitcoin will be at $1 trillion market cap. One day closer to that. Now, well, let me just see if there are any questions. There's just 2 more subjects left here. No, there's no other questions. Okay, yeah, someone's putting some FUD out there. Now, let's Now, it's trendy with the normies now, Bitcoin, okay? Bank of America's January survey of fund managers, I would call them normies, definitely, indicated Bitcoin is now seeing the most capital inflow. According to the survey, and it's just a survey, Bitcoin has dethroned long tech, bullish bets on majority technology companies, as the most crowded trade. That is the one seeing the most capital inflow. The news marks the first time long tech has been pushed off the top position since October. So yeah, these fund managers are obviously getting pressure from their clients like, hey, you keep on throwing money at Tesla and all these dudes. What's this Bitcoin thing I hear about? And they're starting to throw money at Bitcoin. It's more so than at the Teslas of the world. It's a good sign. Very good sign. The normies are waking up. These fund managers aren't as conservative as they once were. It's an evolving world. They know that this is the freaking 2020s. It's the golden age. You can't just be investing in stocks anymore, all right? Now, here's a new feature. I'm going to try to do one of these every day. It's a flashback show from March the 3rd, 2017, as Bitcoin approached $1,300. It's why am I bringing this flashback show up today? Because yesterday I talked about the Dash guy who wrote an article for Cointelegraph that was basically a fuddle in Bitcoin, and it's not exactly clear that it's an opinion piece and that he's a Dash guy. He was on my show on March the 3rd, 2017. You can actually see him before he went full Dash. I didn't really know of his Dash, his full Dash tendencies back then. I did know he was in the Dash, but he really became hardcore Dash shortly after that. But you can see it. The guy that I talked about that was in the article, he's been on the show before. He's not returning to the show for a number of reasons. But yeah, that's a flashback to 2017, and more so, the show. Ansel Lindner is on the show, and it's just we're excited about Bitcoin getting to $1,300. So it's always fun. I'll try to bring up flashback shows on all my shows for now on at the end here. So that is linked to below. Let me just make sure I covered everything I said I was going to cover today. All right. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video, pound that like button, and click on all those links. I'll update them in a second. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.